Well, here we are. Good morning. This is Gabe O'Neill from Digital Accelerant. We are live now here with Lorraine Sanborn. We took a couple weeks off of our Mondays live at 11, but we're back now. And yeah, so Digital Accelerant is a company that we provide custom digital business cards to our clients that return business back to them. You can get my card by texting the word Gabe to the number you see in front of you, or if you're just listening, it's 321-421-5213. And my guest is Lorraine Sanborn, and you can text energy to 321-421-5213 to get her digital business card. So welcome, Lorraine.
Good morning, Gabe. Good morning,
How's it going?
everyone. Great.
So
Everything's awesome here in Connecticut.
yeah, so I mean, I think these are kind of fun things for me where we get to interview our clients, and we don't necessarily talk just about digital cards. We talk about a bunch of different things. So let me give you a formal introduction. Lorraine's business is Fabulous Begins at 50. She loves working and guiding her preferred customers to achieve their health and wealth goals. After 30 plus years in the life insurance industry, she loved what she was doing, but sometimes was frustrated that she couldn't provide the best policy due to her clients' health issues. She has now found a solution for her own continued health and her clients. And we're going to get to that in a little bit. But as we like to make provide value in these meetings, we like to provide tips that our listeners and viewers can use in their own business. So we've had each week as a community, the digital card community gets together and has a power hour on Thursdays, and Lorraine has participated many times in that, and has talked about some of the things that she uses in her business to get to market and to get herself out there. And one of them is BNI. Excuse me. And BNI, for those of you who don't know, is a Business Networking International. It's an international networking group that has been around for quite a number of years. I used to be a member, and it's funny. BNI has attracts a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a lot of different.
Professions.
I'm sorry.
Professions.
Well, no, it's not that. It's more like it attracts attention in positive and negative ways. You'll have a lot. You'll have a lot of very. It's almost like politics where you have a lot of pro BNI people and you have a lot of anti B and you have some anti BNI people. When I joined, I said, you know what, I'm not going to listen to either one of them because both of them were the ones who said, oh, I'll only do BNI. It's the only thing you can do. And the other person said, please don't join that group. So I didn't listen to either one of them, but I went in and I tested it for myself, and I did get business from it. I got a bunch of business from it. I don't think I overstayed my welcome, but I just kind of I grew kind of out of it for whatever reason. So I'm definitely not I was very pro BNI when I was in it. So what's been your experience?
So, Gabe, I've been in BNI twice. Back in the 90s when I was just beginning my life insurance business, I belonged to a BNI, and it was extremely helpful for me because that's a coveted seat. Uh,
Right.
in BNI, there are, when we talk about different professions, there are certain seats that people always want to fill. When I say seats, because it's single profession per chapter.
Right.
So the realtor, the mortgage person, the financial planner, the life insurance person, those are seats that people would try to get in that group to have. So I stayed with BNI for a really long time during my life insurance profession. And then 5 years ago, after being with my health and wellness business for 3 years, it was suggested that I join a BNI. So now I'm in a BNI and I have the health and wellness profession seat. So you come from kind of two different places. But yes, Gabe, you're right. There are people that find BNI extremely helpful, and then those that come in and don't. But like any other organization you belong to, you get out what you put in.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
So I've been on leadership, leadership meaning never been the president or anything but the chapter, but I've been in growth, I've been visitor host. And when you're giving, you're getting. So the philosophy of Ivan Meisner's, and BNI has been around over 30 years now, is giver's gain.
Right.
So I just felt that works for me, and get to be friends too. I wasn't going to renew last year, but I just looked around and I said, hey, I don't want to give up these people on a weekly basis. And as long as the business was continuing to come, then it was an investment for my business,
Right.
financial investment, and an investment on time that I put in.
Mm-hmm. And you're right. The giver's gain thing is something that I also learned from Ivan. And also I will say that I had in 2015 I had the opportunity to meet him and actually work with him for a little while on several occasions. And he and his wife Beth, and who sadly has passed away now,
Right.
but they were the fantastic people. And so as a culture, the culture usually comes from the top down, and I was so shocked at how well grounded they both were in that they would talk to anybody for any period of time. I mean, they would never put on airs about anything. But I really really liked them, and the whole giver's gain thing seems to have permeated into a lot of other platforms. I mean, I think that that's really, as a networker, that's really how you're expected to be. And if whether or not you're in BNI or not, if you're out there trying to get, sell, you'll fail. But if you're out there giving and trying to see and focusing on what you can do for the other person as a networker, you're going to be a lot more successful. And there are some groups where that culture just isn't there, and I just can't tolerate those groups anymore. It's just it's just not good. So yeah, it's I have some fond memories of BNI as well, but now I'm in a group called M3 Linked, and I'm actually going to be looking at another one, NIA, this week too. So I mean, it's again, it's all about networking. It's all about building relationships. It's all about providing value to people and expanding your network. So it's all good stuff.
I took that 12 years ago. I started a women only networking organization.
Uh-huh.
And the whole concept, we specifically said that we were not going to be a rigid as a BNI group.
Right.
But we were going to be single profession, and we were going to mentor, and we were going to support other women. And that group is, people have come and gone because they've successfully done whatever it was that they want to come and do. But again, it's that giver's gain. It's it's still the helping and supporting other women in that particular group. So yeah, I took some of what I wanted and left some of what I didn't want behind.
Well, there you go. I just threw myself. I hit a button that I shouldn't have hit for a second there.
I saw that. It's okay.
But anyway, so it's all good. So it's not just BNI. So you do. I mean, of course, we all do networking to get out there, right? And but you also you of course you're using LinkedIn as
Right.
well, correct? Which I am too. And the thing that I've learned recently is more about LinkedIn events. I didn't put a whole lot of value in LinkedIn events because I know that people will say, yeah, I'll sign up for it, and they don't really attend. But I didn't realize that you can invite up to 1,000 people per week to your event. So it's a numbers thing. I mean, the more that you invite, some of those people are not even active on LinkedIn, so you'll lose those. Some of them will say they're going to join, but they don't. But then some of them will join, and then we'll actually attend. So you get maybe 15, 20% of those people that you invite on events to actually join the event. So if you have a lot of followers, um, then then you can actually use that as a source to get people to attend your events, and that's actually what I'm doing for next week. We've got two events next week. One is the collaboration forum that we have, and the second one is I'm doing a kind of a symposium on digital business cards, and both of those, if you go to digitalaccelerant.com and hit events, you can look at and or register for either one or both. Both are free events for open to all businesses. But anyway, so LinkedIn is a viable way of networking. I haven't really figured out how to how to properly connect with people. I was trying automation at one point, like in bots and all that stuff, and that didn't really do much. And I so again, it's all about being authentic. How do you use it, and how are you successful with it?
Well, I have a LinkedIn coach, and I have a system. I do a certain number of things every single day. I might spend 20, 30 minutes a day on LinkedIn. I reach out to find people that I want to connect with and collaborate with. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Such as today, my reach out was for hair salon owners because our collagen product is a great income producing line that a hair salon owner could use to support her clients.
Okay.
I also I just started about 5 weeks ago doing a weekly newsletter. So instead of just posting an article, you can now create a newsletter at the same time. And it's interesting because, from what I'm told, LinkedIn will send out that newsletter, that first newsletter, to all of your connections.
Really?
So I have over 11,000 connections on
Uh-huh.
LinkedIn. So, assuming that they did what they said they were going to do, over 11,000 people got my first newsletter. So,
Wow.
my routine now is on Fridays, I post a newsletter. And a lot of it I take right from compliance issued information, right from Isogenics Health, which is my support, my blog. But I've got close to 2,000 subscribers now in just 4 or 5 weeks. So it's just being consistent. And to go back to what you said about automation and bots, that's something that LinkedIn frowns upon. They will shut you down. This is what I've been told. So I don't do that, but I don't do anything automated. When somebody becomes and says they want to be a connection, I send them a non-sales note and asking them to schedule a time with me. So there's a whole system that I use with LinkedIn, and it seems to be working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny the bot thing that the companies are always they're always dodging and weaving about, okay, how do we avoid not getting this person shutting down, and so and I remember that I did when I was using it, I got a lot more connections a lot easier because um it was easier, it was faster than me clicking all these invites. And now, as I understand it now, LinkedIn has clamped down even further. You can only invite 100 people a week. Used to be like
Correct.
100 people a day, and now it's 100 people a week to be, friends with or whatever. But this newsletter thing has got me intrigued. So you're saying it's where you create an art where you normally create an article.
Yep.
You can create a newsletter instead, and then send that out. So I'll have to check
Yep.
that out.
It will automatically go to anybody who has subscribed.
Right.
They all get that. There's also another option that's brand new on LinkedIn that's called the Ring My Bell.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I just found out about that. You don't see the bell on your own profile,
Right.
but if I go to your profile and I click on the bell, then
Right.
every time you post something, I get a notification.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I
I'm
think we
asking everybody to ring my bell on LinkedIn. And it's just Lorraine M. Sanborn on LinkedIn. I'm really easy to find. So just go ring my bell. And every time I post something, you'll get a notification.
right, and that's we did that actually in the that exercise in the Power Hour this past Thursday, where but one thing we discovered is that you have to be connected to the person to be able to see their bell. But once
Correct.
you're connected, um, and that's a great way for groups to like networking groups, like the digital card owners, like your BNI group. You could have an exercise say, okay, let's all make sure that we're connected on LinkedIn, and everybody click everybody else's bell, and so that way you get more engagement with your posts and stuff like that. I think it is a good idea. So
Yeah, and
yeah, it's fun keeping up with
it's
all that
not a
stuff.
bot. So
Right,
it's what is the word they use? Uh, some kind of engagement. Authentic engagement, I think,
right,
is the word. Yeah.
right. Yeah, even where they where I think they used to have like LinkedIn parties where people in engagement pods, I think they were called, where everybody posts their link and then goes to it. I think LinkedIn even figured that stuff out, so
Yeah.
they're very careful in doing that. So yeah, that's some good stuff on LinkedIn. I'll have to. Oh, and by the way, since you have so many followers on your connections, you can invite 1,000 people a week to our collaboration forum, and it's easy to do. Because all you have to do is pick an industry, like a good person to invite. It'd be, were you at the last Power Hour?
No, I missed it.
Okay, you missed it. So I'll send you a list of the one. If you go to the industry tab when you invite, you
Yep.
can invite, you'd say commercial real estate or real estate, and you'll
Yep.
get all the real estate agents. I'm going to send you a link to all the industries that you can ping. Because one of the things that's good for us is the business coaches. They're great people to have digital cards. So if I send you, I'm going to send you that, and when you hit in the invite, this is another thing that if people don't know how to do it, if you hit the invite, hit the industry, and then you check them all, right? So it'll say like, okay, 50 people were tagged. But what happens is, especially a person like you who has a lot of followers, as you scroll down, that number keeps or that list keeps repopulating, right? It adds more and more. So you keep scrolling down till you get until you exhaust the end of it. Then you uncheck it and recheck it, and you'll get all of those. Does that make sense? You follow that?
I'm a visual learner.
Okay,
So
well, I
when
can
I
show it.
do it, I'll
I can.
see
Sh-
it.
I'll show it to you after this. But
Yeah,
but
that's
but but really,
perfect.
what but it's very very powerful because you in one click you can invite 300 people. I actually did it this morning. I invited 478 people with one click.
Well, I
And
definitely want people to be at our collaboration event because our speakers are powerful. I did the first one and it was great. I talked for 5 minutes and then we just chatted for the rest of the time. And I was
right,
with another member and I learned a lot. Everybody learned a lot. And it's not a salesy thing, it's just education.
right,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
That's the thing about it. It's designed to, usually when you have a speaker at the event, they're the smartest people in the room. Everybody asks them questions, and then when they're done, it's over. But that's not how we do it. You can ask them questions, but then we assume that there's other smart people in the room, so they're going to engage you to say, okay, what's your experience been with this? And other people might have, like, if they're talking about LinkedIn, everybody's got different experiences with LinkedIn, and all are valuable. So we use we leverage all this the brain power of everybody to get that out there, and as you participate, that's a great way for you to bond with other people. So it's a very strong networking opportunity. So and I would encourage anybody to do that. Yeah, so that's great. Well, let me get to your business a little bit. So and I'll ask some of the questions that you posted here. So you're into healthy aging. Your business is fabulous. Begins at 50, right?
Right.
So when did tell me about the transition from the life insurance to the health and wellness?
Well, just a little background on me. I am a I'm a very proud grandmother of two amazing grandchildren, a 26-year-old who's she's going to start her master's in June for special ed and early childhood development. And my grandson is finishing up his sophomore year in college, and he's been wrestling since he was 5. So
Wow.
yeah, they are my daughter's children, and I have a son, and he blessed me with an incredible daughter-in-law. So I have like 2 daughters now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I've been a widow. My husband was active duty Navy. We met in '83. We bought motorcycles, and we we rode around the country from starting with the small motorcycles to a full dress Harley. At the
Wow.
end, we had a sidecar on it because his was his primary caregiver, and the bike was too big. It was a small man, but so the sidecar allowed us to continue riding. Well, he passed away on Mother's Day, 2010. So I'd been a widow for a few years, and my daughter and I were looking at how are we going to feel better in our own skin. So I needed to lose some weight. I wanted more energy. It was the week I was turning 72, and that was 2013. So she reached out on Facebook because she couldn't find a way to get the products we wanted that replaced the ones we had used years before with Isogenics. So she put on Facebook, who sells Isogenics? And in about 32 seconds, she had a response. And if you ever get to meet my daughter and this woman who responded, you'd understand the
Mm-hmm.
dynamics of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 8 years has been an incredible health journey for me. And I turned 80 in December. I just want to share everything that I do for my own healthy aging with everybody that wants to listen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, my business is fabulous begins at 50. And for a minute there, Gabe, I thought, am I putting myself into a niche where people aren't going to want to talk to me if they're younger or older? But when we're 50, our lives start to change physically, emotionally. Kids are leaving home, all kinds of things are happening. So I have this philosophy that if mom's happy and feeling healthy, then the rest of her family is going to feel healthy. So my daughter's sandwich generation. She's taking care of me, and she's got 2 children. So it just works. The products are, not to go into a big science thing, but they're all science tested based. The company is 20 years old. It's debt free. But it's not about the company. It's about what kind of support are you going to get from the person you decide to work with. And as a team, we have closed Facebook groups. I'm available. Our team is available. The company's support is unbelievable. And I've got 2 Facebook groups that I just put people in so they can get information and knowledge. So the transition really happened when I couldn't insure a lot of people because of their health issues. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know what was out there. And, I couldn't have cured my husband's issues, health issues, but I could have given him better nutrition. We may not have thought about what he was going to eat or not eat. And maybe he'd want to eat ice cream, but maybe I could have made him a protein bowl and froze it with fruit. So now I know about the nutrition and all of the products that we have that can support people's healthy lifestyle. And,
Interesting.
and I'm
Eh,
here. I'm not going anywhere. I'll
Right.
probably still be doing this at 85 or 90.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing about one of the interesting things about that was you mentioned you took a trip around the country in '83 with your motorcycles, right?
We rode from '83 until a couple of years before he passed.
Oh, really? So that's when you started riding. But were you driving cross country, or did I misinterpret that?
So when we started, we bought 2 little Hondas, and we dressed them up like little Harleys with the sidecar. I mean, the side pipes, the bags, the whole thing.
Right.
And yeah, we started riding. I mean, I can't, I wouldn't get in a car and drive for 300 or 400 miles in a day, or the places that I got to see. But over time, the bikes got bigger. And the fight was, I'm not getting on the back of your bike. I'm going to continue my own bike. I was in my 50s. I wasn't ready to give up control. But
Right.
over time, I did. The bikes got bigger and I got on the back and they were more comfortable. So we did a lot of traveling. Canada, my husband, one of his boys was in Ohio in college. He rode out there. We went to Florida. We went all over the place. It was just an amazing lifestyle.
It's interesting because in '83, that's the time that I took my little trip around the country. It wasn't. It was in a different platform. It was a Honda Civic. I put 12,000 miles on it that summer. I did it all in one summer,
Wow.
and I started in Maryland, and I went to Windsor, Ontario, to get for a buddy got married. Then I went south to Fort Lauderdale to visit my parents. And then I went through. Then I started up through the southern states, over to Louisiana, New Orleans, and then Dallas, and then through there, and then over to San Francisco, and then up to Los Angeles, and up the coast up to through Oregon to Seattle, and then I took a ferry to Alaska, and then back down to Seattle, and then across to Banff and Jasper and Alberta and all that. So that was like 3 months of stuff. And I can remember almost every day from that. It was so fantastic.
It
And
was an amazing way to spend our weekends. And the majority of the time, we didn't have a destination.
right.
It's wherever we were at time to stop.
Mm-hmm.
We did an Alaska cruise, land and sea, many years ago, and we spent
Mm-hmm.
more money on Harley Davidson T-shirts for the family because a lot of our kids rode at the same time.
Right.
So yeah, it was an amazing lifestyle.
That's funny. So we don't have much more time. We talking about a lot of different things, but let me ask you a couple more of these questions. So one of your mottos states consistency is key in every and all aspects of our life. I now wake up each day with a growing passion to mentor, teach, and show all those around me how once you believe in yourself, you can create the best life possible. How do you fulfill this vision when guiding and working with individuals to be more focused and consistent in their health walk?
That's a big question. So I guess because I go on the journey with my customers,
Mm-hmm.
uh, whether it's a customer that's using product or it's someone who's transitioned to become an associate with us and earn an additional stream of income. So I have the support of obviously myself, our team, and Isogenics itself has lots of training, ways to get trained, whether it's product driven or income producing driven. So we have the Facebook groups, and I'm in touch with my customers all the time. I have a gentleman who he's already lost, what did he tell me, 18 pounds this couple in the last month or so. And because he does a toxic level cleanse, moving the toxins out of his body, we start every Wednesday with a phone call because that's his cleanse day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I have a woman in my networking group whose husband's on a weight loss program. And whenever I text or call him, he says to his wife, "Hey, my new best friend's on the phone." So creating relationships, it's not just about selling products. It's about who can I help? And it doesn't matter how old they are. Right? There's just, and it's consistency, whether it's taking care of my customers or running my own business. Being consistent, like I said, on LinkedIn, I have a system that I use every day. Facebook has a system that I use every day. Does that answer that?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I mean it's I don't know. It's also important. You're making important changes in other people's life, or at least you're facilitating that. And I guess that must be very satisfying for you.
It is.
Hmm. So,
Absolutely.
so with recent changes in the world, more people are having more challenges with their health habits, stress, aging, and getting depressed about where they would like to be with their overall health status. What would be one piece of advice you would give to a person dealing with these type of challenges?
I guess you have to come to grips with what it is that you want to change. I mean, some people are looking for weight loss. Some people are looking for better, healthier skin, hair, nails. It doesn't matter what they're looking for. I set up a time with each person to do a complete assessment of what they're really looking for. And like I said, it's not about selling the product so much as getting the person the right products that they need. It's not a one size fits all system.
Mm-hmm.
If that answers that question.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do one more. Being a coach, especially within the health and lifestyle field, what makes you different, and why do you think your clients choose you over any other coach in this field?
I think I kind of answered that question along the way. It's personal time with me. It's support of our team. There's a lot of companies out there, and there's a lot of companies out there with good products. But it's just a matter of, for me, it's just being one on one with them. And, I use products from different network marketing companies because I don't have everything and other companies don't have everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have household cleaning products that I use from a woman who uses my collagen product. I use shampoo and conditioner from someone who uses my shakes, my protein shakes. And Eva, who has a digital business card,
Mm-hmm.
text confidence to 21,000
Mm-hmm.
is hers. I use all her makeup, and she uses several of my products that her company doesn't have. So it's a matter of supporting each other and being there when somebody needs me.
Very good. Well, thank you for joining me, Lorraine. This was fun, and one thing I learned about you is you're a bike rider. You rode motorcycles. That I did not know. Let me ask you a question. Did you ever go to Sturgis?
No,
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 you did not. Okay.
no. My husband went to Daytona a few times, but
Right.
Sturgis was no. That's one thing we didn't get to do. We probably would have if he hadn't passed on, because I know he wanted to do that at some
Right.
point.
Yeah. That's that place. I just remember that TV show that we used to watch, and there's crazy stuff going on there. But anyway, okay. Well, thanks again for joining me. To get Lorraine's information, it's very simple. You can text the word energy to 321-421-5213. You'll get her digital card. She will get your cell phone number so she can follow up with you, and you can start that relationship and just see how where things go. So I appreciate you being here,
Thank you, Kate,
and
for the opportunity.
we'll see you everybody next time on Mondays live at 11.
Bye bye, everybody.